so good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze free.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, this place can get downright loud when the roof is closed, and that's the situation here today at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016. Jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Not the best of starts here offensively. You're back home. You lost a couple games in a row, and here's an early 3 and out to start things off.
And I think they were counting on being at home and having the home crowd carry them along a little bit to help things get better. But the bottom line is you don't get the crowd involved until you play better. They've got to create some first downs, some big plays, things of that nature to make sure that the crowd is right there with them.
And this will be taken at the 13. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. So here are the Giants now in great field position to start their initial drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And now out comes Houston. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now Johnson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 2nd down, Johnson takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson on first down. It's wearing the tight end with it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Watson, off play action. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the two guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Right back to him on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They go play action here on 1st down, and it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again is Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, D.
A shotgun snap for Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, they get downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They're going to look to throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And who's got it? The Giants! So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The New York set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his 1st catch, and it's good for a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a 2nd time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his 2nd first-quarter touchdown there. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On the ready, 55 to mine. Check, 55 to mine. Stop your whining.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there at 22.
First down, New York.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now Saquon Barkley. He can't bring him down.
The weight room.
And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. Shedding through the defense. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
They still can't get him. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. They juked him. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift.
Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley, 39 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Watson going to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. This is brought in at the 21. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
At the 36-yard line.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Watson, throwing again. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. O'Shane Ximines just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. This one middle of the field, it's wearing the tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. He'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Barkley. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. That all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 51 yards. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now, second quarter, you're losing, you're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Throwing on 3rd down. Watson completes it out left to Waring. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Here's Brian Anger now. as he's on to punt for Houston. Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there.
Let's go.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. 2nd and 6. Catch made by Slayton. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. They'll run with Barkley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On first down, Barkley, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down now, Barkley. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers. And, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here, they've got it 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All day, defense, all day.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
A try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Next to score, Giants 56.
The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with the crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Running from the gun, Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It's Waring, the tight end, with it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Watson, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Watson. Short throw going to be caught by Waring, the tight end. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Set. 19. 54. Line 54.
From the red zone now, Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Watson looks to throw again. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. On the draw, this is Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Matt Ryan, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And things didn't go so well, as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. 27-13 was the final. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as the visiting Buffalo Bills come in and took it to them. Josh Allen, terrific in the victory as his guys upped their mark to 4-1 now. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's second down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second and 9 now. That's complete to Slayton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll come out in the pistol. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think. If he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for a trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, screenplay, Johnson. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Break this set. 18. 54 Mike. You better be afraid of me.
Now a first down throw. Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start to
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Again, it's Barkley. Busts through the tackle. Breaks through another tackle. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them? I don't even know why
they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a...
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 20. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or 2.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. They find some open field here. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 35 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Now the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Next to score, Giants 77.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd and short. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there, a punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Next to score, Giants 84.
Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Let him go.
Here's Watson. And that's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They have punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And Jeffrey's got it. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Let's go.
Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Right there, 54 Mike. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On 1st down, Watson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Catch made by Slayton. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, got a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They go to Johnson again. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Watson off play action. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
This is it. 19. Watch my board. They're going to need some therapy after this.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And this results in 6. Touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans claw one back.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's been solid on the ground. He's found some holes.
The gaps that are being created and wedged open. And, you know, we always talk about where the gaps are in an offensive line, and we've named them, right? The A gap between the center and the guards, and the B gap between the guards and the tackles, and so on. They're there. And in today's running game, plays are designed to go to a certain spot, but if you have vision and you see the gap is open somewhere else, that's when the good running backs take advantage.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Complete. It's Johnson. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Watson's throw here complete to Waring, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Watson. Johnson's got it complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Watson on 1st down. And a catch made by Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Watson. It's Waring the tight end with it. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. New York set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. This is Barkley. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays.
There he goes, left side. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 65 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling...
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Watson looking sideline, incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. This one middle of the field. It's wearing the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he fields it cleanly. "35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And, Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us.
Stretch.
Stay out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
They'll go to Barkley again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's going to field this at the 4. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Barkley. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Barkley. Room to run inside the 40. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. The Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.